Hey guys, this is Loony and welcome to episode 17 of my Loony Hardcore Adventure. Now that we have the beacon in place, it is time to mine our way down to bedrock. So this episode we are gonna mine a lot. And this means that I'm gonna make a total mess of my entire living area here. This monument is already a bit messy. We have the storage way up here on this super inconvenient ledge. And it's gonna get worse before it gets better. But while we're making our way down, I want to keep an eye on light levels because I do not want a ton of creepers in here. I'm not gonna make it so that no mobs can spawn at all because it takes way too much time to spawn proof everything all the time. At the same time, we are playing hardcore, so I don't want to take too many risks. I figured the golden middle ground here is to make kind of a 3D torch grid and put some sea lanterns all around the place while I'm going down to make sure that I can place new sea lanterns, then mine the blocks underneath without the torches disappearing, and just keep going layer by layer. And then when we finally hit bedrock, we'll just mine the torch grid down, or the sea lantern grid as it is. Generally, this is a very straightforward process because I'm just swinging my instant mining pick around trying to get rid of the blocks, and I'm gonna go layer by layer just all the way down until we hit bedrock. And it is quite a bit of mining because we have about 30 layers of material to go in a 58 by 58 area. So this is a lot of work, but we're gonna hold on to all the resources that we find so we have a bit of a stockpile for later, and it's gonna be a bunch of double chests worth of materials. And while everything is going very quickly if you put it in a video, this is a lot of work because we're mining a ton of blocks, so it took several hours to get down to bedrock. And while I was going down there, I made a little natural staircase behind me and kept an eye on light levels there as well. I don't want to check every single block for the perfect light level, so I'm going kind of overboard with the sea lanterns because I basically have infinite resources as far as sea lanterns go due to this guardian farm. Which is also the reason why I wanted to set up the farm before I started mining down to bedrock, because light levels are important here and free sea lanterns are the perfect solution. Because I'm mining right now with my two good pickaxes, which are both efficiency 5, unbreaking 3 and mending, and then one has fortune and one has silk touch. Both will do just fine for mining down to bedrock, but because I'm only using two pickaxes and I'm mining so many blocks, occasionally I have to go to my enderman farm to repair them with mending. And although the enderman farm works alright, it's not great as it is. So we kinda hit a bottleneck by only having the two pickaxes. So eventually I decided, well, I might waste a few diamonds here, but I'm also gonna find a few diamonds by digging down. So what I should do is just get a ton more pickaxes, go all industrial on it, and have like 10 enchanted pickaxes. Luckily, I have all the things I need to do this, so I went over to my enderman farm, smashed a bunch of them around, used some of the levels, used some of the diamonds that I had from earlier in the strip mine, and upgraded my financial status to pickaxe rich. On my quest for bedrock, I was running into quite a bit of slime spawns, which is gonna be super useful. So I'm using my looting sword here to get as many slime balls as I can, and I'm just throwing them in the chest together with all the resources that I'm mining. I'll sort it out later, but the slime balls are gonna get me slime blocks I need for my redstone machines, which I will be building shortly. As you can tell from my crazy sea lantern grid, we are making good progress here. We're already below the guardian farm, so I can actually mine full layers now. And we are approaching bedrock. So far everything is going really well. About every third layer though, the sea lanterns are so far away that we're getting mob spawns on the bottom layer. But placing all the sea lanterns in the correct spot also takes a bit of time. So for now I'm just accepting that we're getting mob spawns, and I have my bow so I can get rid of them from a pretty safe distance. The reason that I'm willing to take the risk of mob spawning in here is that we are working in an open space. So even if creepers spawn in here, because creepers are really my biggest worry, we can see them from a mile away and they have no real places to hide. The only place would be around my natural staircase. So I am careful, I am paying attention, but I'm also not extremely worried about mobs spawning in. I'll just take care of them every third layer and then place in a new sea lantern grid right after that, so we're safe for another 3. I've invested quite a few hours into mining down to bedrock here now, but it isn't really all that bad. As soon as you start finding decent resources, that's pretty rewarding, and since it is a big project, but it's also a safe project, this is also a great time to watch a documentary, watch a series, do something enjoyable on the side, listen to music. At this point, I'm not too worried about mobs creeping up on me because I can see them, so I'm just paying attention, looking around, and kind of cruising through this part of the process. Being said, really the best part about doing a repetitive job like this is getting to the end of it. So when I started seeing bedrock, I was pretty glad that I was almost ready to start organizing my base. And it was about time to organize it because right now I have 2 of these big double chest storage workstations completely full of random blocks, and I look forward to the point where I can actually find my stuff when I need it. The whole reason that I started opening up this place is that I wanted to have room below our ocean monument for farms. And the first thing we're gonna install is chunk loaders right at the bottom, and they will keep everything active wherever I am in either the overworld or the nether. And to keep everything clean, I will make a floor in here, but I'm not entirely sure what I want to do with this floor. I might very well change it up later. I might raise it up a few layers. So for now I'm placing temporary blocks in here, and it might very well be the case that I will leave them. But at this point I really don't know. So for now I'm just filling it in between the bedrock blocks. It might be nice to see the bedrock. I might replace it with glass later, but for now aquatic blocks will do just fine. Once the basement floor was completed, I started towering up to the top of the sea lantern grid with sand pillars. Then I mined down from the top sea lantern, dropping down to the one below, and the one below that, and the one below that, until I hit the floor again. Just to shovel the sand pillar up again and repeat the process. At some point I realized that this could be done more efficiently by just placing a torch below the whole thing and getting rid of the sand stack by mining just 1 block. With all the excess sea lanterns removed, it was time to make a staircase up from the Guardian Farm drop system to where the floor level of our monument structure would be. As you can see, some of the guardians actually didn't die in the farm. This is because I removed 1 layer of lava. Reasoning behind it is that there was some lava flow going on in the layers, which meant that too many guardians were dying inside of the farm, not bringing down their drops. I fixed it by a temporary fix, but I'll have to go in and fix all the lava later. For now, I have a mechanism on the side where I can manually kill them if there are too many inside of this box. Since we're at the cleaning stage now, I decided to also place a bunch of sea lanterns around the rim that is on water level, because there are a few mobs spawning here and right now I don't need them, I don't want the risk. We're gonna make a safe place inside of our monument, which also means that since there are so little spawning spaces for mobs, there will be a ton of monsters here on the edge and we can't have it, so sea lanterns are the definite solution. Next matter to attend to was making a floor inside of the monument structure, and this is where our storage area is gonna be. And at this point I'm not gonna make a huge item sorter, I will just have some manual storage because I will have chests and chests and chests of the same type of blocks. And for now I don't really need to organize everything, I just want to get to the point where I can start making this place look good. And before we get to do that, there is a lot of water to drain. So for now, we're going with manual storage. Last thing we have to do before we can call this part of the project complete is get out the shulker boxes, go down to all the chests that we filled up with the blocks we mined, and move them to our regular storage. Because after I get the chests out of the way, I can remove the natural staircase that I left behind, and this place is gonna look clean enough where I feel comfortable to move on and start removing water. So next episode, we'll finish the cleaning and organizing and then put up the framework because we're gonna dry out water pretty soon. now, that will be all for today's episode. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time when we put down the perimeter.